Today I have a junk journal embellishments tutorial for you that includes how to make your very own paper vintage slides. I've also got a sneak peek at a new upcoming video series, and I'm revealing the secret to my video from last week. Here we go, y'all. Well, hello and welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. My name is Melissa and I'm so glad you're here. Today we are talking about transparencies. After I showed my junk journal flip through, which I will link in the description below, y'all had a lot of questions about using transparencies. So I wanted to show you what I use and some other ideas for using them. These are quick dry inkjet transparency sheets, which is what I use. There are several different types and it depends on your printer. You can also get transparency sheets that are for inkjet and laser. They're a little more expensive. You can also use just packaging for some of these ideas, just clear packaging. It doesn't necessarily have to be transparencies, but for most of what I'm going to show you, you want the transparencies because we're going to be printing on them. And it's kind of what I want to show you is how to use my digital printables on transparencies, and it just adds a whole nother dimension to your books. So when you pull out your transparency, you're going to have this little sticky strip at the top, this little, not sticky, paper strip at the top, and that's to help pull the transparency into your printer. One side is going to be kind of rough and one side is going to be slick, and usually you want to print on the rough side because that's the side that's going to take the ink well. If you're printing text and you want to lay the transparency down and have the shiny side up, you'll want to print your text backwards because when you flip that over, if you don't, it's going to be backwards. And it depends on how your printer. My printer, I put this in at the top and my printer's going to roll it up, but you may have a printer that slides it through. And so it depends on how your printer works. You're going to have to experiment a little bit with it to see which way that you're going to lay your transparency in. Once you print on your transparency, it doesn't take too long to dry, but you do want to be careful for about 5 or 10 minutes because it can smudge a little bit, or you can scratch it. I've actually scratched the design accidentally before because I started working with it too soon. So you want to be careful with that. So I just wanted to show you my journal that I did the flip through with, my ridiculously huge journal, and I will link that below if you didn't get to see it. But this is just a sheet of butterflies that I printed directly on the transparency, and you can see that little treasure card there. That's from my Word Studies flashcard kit, and the butterflies are from this butterfly kit, which has lots of sheets of butterflies in it. I have a little secret about those Word Studies flashcards that I cannot wait to tell you. I still have to hold it in for a little while, but something exciting is going to be happening with those. So I just cut the butterflies out of the sheet and stapled them to the edge of the page to give a pretty little border there. So if you want to see more of that flip through, I will link it below, and then I'll also put a clickable link for you at the end of this video that you can just click on to go see that. Okay, so this is my Traveler's Notebook insert, and I'm using lots of ephemera from this kit to decorate this Summer Stories Traveler's Notebook insert. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I've done with it so far. I used the tags from this Pocket Map mini book kit to create a pocket in the front, and the tags are fairly large, so I just cut one in half and glued it to the page, and then I took two of the tags and I added a little ephemera label that I had typed on, and I sewed the two tags together, and I didn't overlap them. I just butted them up next to each other and did a zigzag stitch right down the center of those two tags, and I'm creating kind of a little index. So I haven't written in it yet, but what I thought I would do was when I finish this journal for the end of the summer, which I'm kind of behind on right now, but when I finish, then I'll go in and create kind of like a bullet journal index in that little booklet. So this is a set of hotel key tags that I created as a gift for my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, you might want to do that. It's free, and I send out lots of free printables to my subscribers. This one will continue to go out through the rest of August, and then I may make a set to go in the shop because I've had a lot of interest in it. So if you miss the giveaway, if you're not on my subscriber list when I send these out, then check my shop because I may have some for sale there. So here I've just tucked some ephemera from the Summer Stories kit into a pocket that I made also from some ephemera, and I've got some tucked in a little tuck spot there. I just washi taped some that I journaled on the back there, and made another little tuck spot here with a coin envelope from the kit. The Seashell is one of my page wraps from the Summer Stories kit, and it comes with 4 page wraps and some pattern papers to print on the back. And it's the Seashell and the little map and the golden summertime, which I just love that couple on the back of that one. And I sewed some pom-poms to that one. So the first thing that I wanted to show you was printing the pattern paper on the transparency, because then you've got this beautiful transparent paper that you can use for all different things. And I am using a map paper from the mini book from this set, and I've printed it on the transparency, and you can see that it has just the prettiest look to it when you lay it over things, and it depends on what you lay it over. It looks a lot different when you lay it over something light colored as opposed to laying it over something very dark. And you could just fold it in half and create a page from it and then attach things to it that way. You can lay it over photographs. I really like the way it looks over photographs because it kind of creates a map look on people's faces. You can cut shapes out of it. I used my silhouette to cut these circles out of it, and then you can lay those shapes over things to kind of highlight text or highlight something on the page. You can fold it in half and staple it to the edge of your page to create a transparency tab. It looks especially neat over book pages, as you see there, like vintage book pages. And then we go back to those circles, and you can see you can highlight things on a page with those circles, or any shape really. Here, what I've done is sewn on my sewing machine, and I just stitched a circle around and around on the transparency, and that creates so much layering and depth. And then when you put that on top of something else, you create more layers. And you know, with paper, that's the important thing, right? The more layers you can create and the more depth, the prettier your page is going to be. So speaking of layering, this little butterfly is from the ephemera from that Pocket Map mini book kit, and I printed it on the transparency. I printed the whole sheet of ephemera on the transparency, and then I just used it to trace around some vintage book paper, and I'm layering that transparency over the shape of the butterfly in the book page, and that makes a really pretty layer. I'm folding it in half, and then I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to staple it to my page, and you can see how pretty those layers are and how you can see through it to the book page, and also it creates color on the book page from the light going through. This is another piece, the little suitcase that is from that kit. In my main ephemera kit, I have these travel stamps, and I've just cut them out, and I'm going to use those as tabs on the sides of my pages. And again, I'm just using my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to staple those onto the sides of the pages for tabs, and they hold up really well to bumping and bending, and they also just look so pretty on the sides of your pages. They really catch the light and create, again, really pretty layers, as you can see here. So I'm really excited to show you this next thing. This is a new product that will be in my shop. My newsletter subscribers actually got this for free this month, but this will be in my shop if you would like to get it. And these are vintage slides, and just by themselves printed on regular photo paper, they look really pretty, and you could print a pattern paper on the back and make them super cute. There's so many fun things you could do with these. I might do a whole video on just how to use these, but in particular, when you print these on transparency, you get a really cool look. And one of the things that you can do is you can double them up. You can see I've doubled up the Statue of Liberty one here, and it looks like there's 2, and you can create a really fun double exposure type of look by layering certain slides over each other. But the fun thing that I wanted to show you was creating what looks like a real slide. So the way we're going to do that is we're first going to print the slides out on photo paper, and we're going to use our X-Acto knife, and we're going to cut the image out of the center. And you just want to use a self-healing mat, obviously be very careful, and cut out the picture from the center, and you've got your little slide there, and I'm going to show you how to distress that and make it look a little more vintagey in a minute. And then you want to print a sheet on the transparency and cut out the image that you want. Now, I wanted to show you that if you just cut out the rectangular image, it's not going to fit very well in your slide. So you want to leave a border when you cut it out of the transparency so that you have a way to attach that slide. And when you do that, you get this amazing looking real slide. And so to rough up the edges and make it look a little more vintagey, I just took the edge of my X-Acto blade and just ran it along the edges of the inside of the frame and the outside of the frame, and that gave it more of a thick, kind of rough look. You could also crinkle it up before you add your slide, and as you can see, when you layer this over different things like the matte paper and the different colors, those come through and they look so pretty. Now here what I've done is actually attached some matte paper to the back, and I added a few sequins in and then sewed it around and made like a little slide shaker. And I think that looks really pretty too. And you could add all different things in behind it depending on the look that you were going for. And that one was a lot of fun to make. So I am so excited. I have so many things to tell you about. I have so many exciting things coming up that I can't actually share with you yet. But what I can share with you is that I have a brand new video series. I've already recorded 2 episodes, and that will be coming out very soon. So if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this quick and easy printable trick. It's also using transparencies, and I think that you will really, really love it. I wanted to show you my little secret from our last video was I saw dolphins swimming in the ocean in this particular video. I had no idea there were dolphins the day that I recorded this video. So if you look on the screen, I've got them highlighted and you can see them there. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a week filled with peace and grace, and I will see you next time here on Pink Paper Peppermints.